guys, welcome back to CKO Yoga. We're happy to have you here today. Today we're actually going to start on our back. We're going to practice our belly breathing a little bit. So one of the things that we often do in society anyways, especially as adults, is we breathe a lot in our chest and not so much in our belly, which is where we should be breathing. So if you ever watch a baby when they're sleeping and they're on their back, you can see with each breath their belly rises and their belly falls. And that's the correct way to breathe. As adults, I think we just, stress happens, life happens, and we start to just rapid breathe through our chest and not get a nice, full, deep breath in. So let's get down on our mats. We're gonna start right on our backs, and we're gonna put our hands on our belly. And so we're gonna have one hand over our belly button, one on top, right? And we're just underneath our rib cage, and we're just gonna start to really think about breathing. So I want you to take an inhale and try and really breathe deep and slow and get that belly to rise. So we're going to start with that. Inhale. Exhale. Let it go. It takes a little practice. Inhale. Try and hold it a little bit at the top. Now I'm going to challenge you. So now when you take that breath in, nice, deep, slow, deliberate belly breath, I want you to count in your head, hold it at the top for a couple seconds. The exhale, I want you to exhale with control and try and really think about making that exhale just a little bit longer than that inhale with each breath. So let's give that a try. Inhale, hold it. Exhale with control. See if that exhale can be just a little longer, even if it's only a second or two longer. Let's do that a couple more times. All right, since we're already on the ground, let's just start with some gentle windshield wipers, left and right. Put your arms to your side, left and right, Let's settle on the right side. Take our head to the left. Just doing a gentle spine twist here. You guys are familiar with this. Nice little stretch for your neck too. You can turn your neck the opposite direction. Feels good. Breathe. Just relax. This is your time. 3, 2, and 1. Let's take those knees nice and gently up and over now to the left. Take our head to the right. Relax. Soften your gaze, close your eyes if that feels good. All right, in 3, 2, 1. We're going to help ourselves up on the left. We're just going to start by turning our body to the left. Give our body a second here to acclimate. We're going to take our right hand on the ground, help ourselves up with hands left and right. We're just going to work our way right into the front of our mat here. And we're going to start in a a child's pose. So take our big toes, we're going to put them together in the back, make like a V. We're going to open up our knees. We're just going to take those hips and we're going to sink them right back down to those heels. Stretch those hands out in front, walk those fingertips out as far as you can. Really get a nice stretch here. Let's roll our forehead left and right.
Just roll it. Roll that tension right away. You got it. Let's take those hands, let's tuck them right behind us. Down by our ankles even. Just let it go, wherever feels comfortable for you. Like I said, some people prefer to go in prayer, hands behind their neck, and that's perfectly fine too if that works well in your practice. This is your practice. Just breathe here. 2 more breaths. And take our hands out. We're just going to help ourselves up. We're just going to sit right back into a seated position here. Sitting nice and tall on our sits bones. You need to move the flesh away, you can. I'm just going to sit nice and tall here. I like to have my left foot over my right foot over my left leg like this, just a lotus position. It feels good for me, but you don't have to sit that way. So sitting nice and tall, we're going to relax. We're going to think about relaxing those shoulders down and back, but we're sitting straight as if you had like a little string. Your head is nice and straight. We're gently going to walk our fingertips to the right, looking behind us. Come back, sitting tall, we're going to walk to the left. Our gaze is over that left shoulder. Relax and soften the gaze. Relax those face muscles, the muscles around your eyes. Bring that back to center. Now we're just going to walk our fingertips out to the right. Let our elbow fall where it might. We're going to take our left hand up and over. You can look down with that hand. You can look straight, or you can peek up and under, whatever feels better. Really, really opening up that side body here, guys. Feels good. Making some space. Now we're going to turn that palm towards the ceiling and just push it away. Do the same thing. Walk the fingers on the left out, right up, shoulder down and back. We're just going to roll right over on the left now. Same thing with your gaze. Take it wherever is comfortable for you. And you don't have to be down on your elbow. If you're right here and that's where your practice is today, that's totally fine. It really depends on where it's comfortable for you. All right, now we're going to take that palm facing the ceiling. We're going to go up, and now we're just going to do this kind of like in a flow state, right? So we're just going to go inhale, exhale, let it go. Inhale, exhale, do this at your own pace. It kind of feels good to get into a nice little flow. One more time here on each side. We're going to take it right to heart center. Okay. Take those hands up overhead. Just going to open them up. A nice, gentle heart opener here. Shoulders down and back. Arms extended to either side. Chin up, close those eyes, imagine the bright sun right up above, bright ball of energy. Imagine that energy can shoot right into your heart center, throughout your body. Restorative, healing, warm, welcoming, beautiful, bright light full of energy. Let's take our hands and let's gather all that energy up for our practice. Put it together, bring it right down to our heart center. Beautiful, you guys, we're ready to roll. Let's stick our hands, and we're just gonna do some of those cat and cows. So we're in a neutral spine here, and we want to make sure that our shoulders are lined right over our wrists. We're going to inhale, looking up, sinking the belly down. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Do this at your own pace. One more time here. Let's take it to a neutral spine. So we're going to do a little bit of a balance here. So we're going to walk our right hand out, okay, straight like this. Left toes down on the ground behind us and just lift up. Engage that core. Head up, chin up, looking forward. 3, 2, 1. Gently put those down. We're going to go to the opposite side. So hand up. Take the back right feet down, straight. Lift it on up. Engage that core. Whoever said there was no core work in yoga. Hold it tight, hold it in tight. For 3, 2, and 1. Let's do that one more time on both sides. So walking those right hand fingers out, hands straight. Left toes out in the back, up. Bit of balance work here. Hold that core nice and tight. 3, 2, and 1. Gently lower those. Left hand up. Walk the right toes back. When you're ready, pull it on up. Engage that core. Hold it nice and tight. You got it. 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's just kind of shake that off. We're going to put those big toes together. We're going to go back into that child's pose. Stretch it on out. Okay, let's hook those toes. Just going to take our hands back to our toes. And ragdoll for a second here. Hands on our shins, looking up at the wall opposite, the straight back, arms up overhead. Let's just take a walk to the front of our mat. So this week I was gonna add in just a little bit of a flow so I know there were some people that were interested in flow, so I wanted to make sure that we did a little bit of a flow. So we're gonna start in our mountain pose. So we're gonna think about standing, balanced on each leg, right? So I'm sure we don't always often think about, sometimes you probably put more pressure on one leg than the other. So we're going to become mindful of that today. So I want you to lift your toes up, and I want you to feel the corners of your feet, all 4 corners, the front and the back, and try and make sure that you're level. Gently lower those toes down and ground yourself here. Standing tall. Again, your head is up as if you had that string pulling you up, but it's also relaxed. Your shoulders are down and back, standing tall. You could take your hands out front a little bit. Chin slightly raised, proud. Chest up, chin up. Breathe, close your eyes. This is your mountain. This is your foundation. Imagine from your feet down to the earth, you're connected. Connect to the universe. Strong, powerful, unstoppable. Breathe. Beautiful, guys. This is your mountain. This is your foundation. This is you. Your house. You got this. Gently open your eyes. All right, we're going to go through a little bit of a flow. So we're going to take our hands to our heart center, and we're going to start just by raising them up overhead with an inhale. We're going to open them up. We're going to swan dive down. Engage that core as you swan dive down. Hands on our shins. We're gonna go down, and then we're gonna do a half lift up, back down, take our hands on either side of our feet. We're gonna step it on back into a plank position, a high plank position here. We're gonna take it through that chaturanga. So our shoulders are right over our wrists. We're gonna slowly take it down with control. Slow, 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 slow. And then we're gonna take it up. Feels good. You can modify, you can go lower than that cobra. Take it to the full expression. And then we're gonna take our toes, hook them, go back to that downward dog position. We're gonna hold it here for a few breaths. So imagine if you can, your inner thighs rolling to the outside. You want to think about that, trying to bring them to the outside when you're in this posture, in this pose. Trying to get our heels closer to the ground. One more breath here. And then we're going to walk our feet up between our hands, or if there's anyone that has this in their practice, you can gently hop to the front, float they call it. So if you're going to be floating or hopping, you want to bend your knees, be on your toes. Just hop to the front there. Stay down here for a second. Hands on our shins, half lift, back down. Arms up, straight back, arms up overhead to our heart center. We'll do that again. Inhale, arms up overhead, swan dive down, half lift, back down, hands on either side of your feet. We're gonna step it on back. Take it through that vinyasa. We're meeting downward dog, downward dog here. Hold it for a couple breaths here. When you're ready, you can walk, hop, or float to the front of your mat. Half lift, back down, arms up overhead. All right, so we're gonna do it again, a little bit different. We're gonna add something to it. So, take a nice breath here. Let's find our grounding again. Make sure we have our foundation nice and strong. We're gonna start again. Arms up overhead, swan dive down, half lift, hands on either side. So this time we're going to take our right foot back. We're going to go into our warrior one. So you're going to heel toe your left foot to the outside. You're going to take your back foot at a 45-degree angle. You're going to help yourself up with your hands on your hips here, with your hips facing forward. You want these legs to be staggered. You don't want them exactly lined up. Your heels could be in alignment, but really when you're new, you just want to kind of make sure that you have the front foot facing forward, the back foot at a 45-degree angle, and make sure that this is out a little bit to the left. As if there was traffic and they're going opposite directions. If you are a little bit more experienced in this pose and you want to bring those arms up overhead and sink a little bit deeper, feel free. Make sure that your knee is lined up with your ankle. You don't want to overextend it. So if you have longer legs and you have to reposition, that's fine. Arms up overhead, shoulders down and back, looking up. Hold that core nice and tight. 3, 2, 1. We're going to bring it on down. That downward dog. And from here, we're going to take it to a high plank, and we're going to work our way through that vinyasa. So chaturanga down to the ground. Back up to that cobra. up here, back down, downward dog. Walk, hop, or float to the front of our mat. Hands on our shins, half lift, back down with a straight back, arms up overhead. Okay, guys, we're gonna do that again now on the opposite side. So float on down here, swan dive, half lift, hands on either side. Now we're gonna take our left foot back, heel to our right foot out to the side here. That warrior one, 45-degree angle with that foot in the back. Hands on our hips, you can help yourself up. Adjust as you need to. Make sure that your knee is right over that ankle. So you can stay right here. A beginner, this is still a balance, it's still a challenge. If you have done this before and you've been here and your place in your practice is to raise your arms and look up. You can turn those pinkies in just a little. You can go a little deeper. Just make sure you're keeping your knee stacked over that ankle. Breathe. Relax your face, relax that gaze. Three, two, one. We're going to take it down, right from the back, is that downward dog. Here we're going to take it to a high plank through that vinyasa. Back down, meeting that down dog. Walk, hop, or float to the front of your mat. Half lift, back down. Arms up overhead. All right, take it to prayer hands here. All right, guys, we're gonna move to a standing balance. We're gonna do tree pose. So this is one of my favorites. There are lots of trees in the world, so feel free to make your tree pose, work for you. So the first thing we wanna do is make sure we're grounded. We're gonna start with our right foot coming up. So left foot, make sure it's nice and grounded. If you take that right foot right here, this could be your tree. And everyday balance is different. Definitely don't beat yourself up, be kind to yourself with balance. It's different every day. Today your tree might be here, or if you want to lift it up, here. So the key to balance is to find an object on a wall opposite you, or somewhere, that is not moving, and focus on that. You want to add the arms in, heart center. This is fine. If you want to add to it, you take those arms up overhead, as if they're tree limbs, branches, you can spread them. You can hug that tree. And you can bring that love right back to your heart center. When you're ready, you can release. Now we do it on the opposite side. Now one side is definitely stronger than the other for everyone. So again, if you fall out, you can come back into it. Balance is one of those things. Don't beat yourself up over it. And if you have distractions in your house, as we all do these days, it's a lot harder to find that balance. All right, so we're going to start on this side, ground ourselves on the right. Think about it, focus. This might be your tree, again here, or up higher. Wherever it is, just make sure it's not on your actual knee. So you can just be right here. This can be your balance today, and that's beautiful. All the trees in the world are beautiful. Heart center, you want to bring it up overhead. Extend those branches out. Hug that tree. Bring it back to the heart center.
those ankles a little. Definitely feel that. All right, guys. We're just gonna take it on down. We're gonna do a little bit more floor work here. So before we go all the way to the ground, I wanna work boat pose a little bit. This is also a balance, and it's core. So we wanna think about being on our sits bones. Move that flesh away if you need to. We want our back to be straight. You know when we do those rope climbs? Kinda like that. So back to be straight at a 45-degree angle. Arms out straight. If you need to hold on to your legs, that's okay too. If you can release, that's okay. Just hold on to it. If you want to increase that intensity, you can go in and out, in and out. You can hold it. 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're gonna roll it on back. Give ourselves a nice hug. Pull those knees in. Let's do those knee circles. Gently holding on top of the knees. We're gonna go in one direction. Let's switch directions. Awesome. All right, guys. Let's put our left foot down. We're gonna take our right foot up. We're gonna grab behind that calf. We're gonna take an inhale and an exhale. We're gonna try and get that leg closer to the chest. So it's inhale, exhale. Try and get a little closer. Inhale, exhale. A little closer. So we're going to try something today. If you can grab your right big toe, grab it. If you can't, if you guys have like a strap or something, you can put it around your foot. What you're looking to do is just take this out to the side. Even if you just right now grab your ankle, take it out to the side, stretch it out here. Ideally, it would be good if you have some sort of strap, and you can use a belt, you can use a band if you have a band. Just want to pull this out to the side. Bring it up a little if you're getting your hips bones off the ground. Now we're going to take it back up. Now we're just going to take it to the opposite side. Looking to the right if the leg is to the left. Closer to our chest. I kind of change my music. Keep going. Inhale, exhale, get that leg closer to the chest. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, guys. Now let's try and grab, and even if you can grab the inside of the foot, if you can't grab the toe or you grab the ankle, just going to go out to the side, take our right arm, the other side. Want to keep our shoulders on the ground here. It's okay if you have a slight bend. You're stretching, you're still stretching. The jump rope works too. If you need something to move on to. 3, 2, 1. Let's bring it back up. Now we're just going to switch hands. We're going to take our right hand on the outside of this foot. We're gently going to guide it over. Looking to the left. Three, 2, and 1. you guys to find someplace, if you have a wall, because we're going to do some legs up the wall for a little bit. And I want to make sure you can see me where I do it, just so you can see which bag I can go on. Actually, any of them. All right. So just do those legs right up the wall. It's a nice restorative pose. We're going to stay here for a few minutes, so get comfortable. Close your eyes. Take this practice to the inside. Really relax and breathe. Let it go. Think about that belly breath again. When we're here, this is probably a really good place to do it, because you're kind of, not that you're stuck here, but you kind of are, right? So you might as well focus on your belly breathing. So maybe put your hands on your belly. Really focus on it. Take your time to count those breaths on the inhale. Hold it for a second or two at the top, and then count the breath on the exhale. And try and make that exhale just a little longer than the inhale. More breaths, just a few more breaths here. Just relax, take it in. Enjoy this time. This is your practice, your time. We don't often give ourselves the opportunity to take this type of time just to relax, focus inward. There's so much going on in the outside world. But what's going on inside of you? Tune in. Take the base of our feet together here in that butterfly back Savasana pose against our wall. Feels good. This is a nice hip opener right here. Take some deep breaths here. Two more breaths here, and we're going to move it out to a bridge pose. Okay, so very gently push yourself away from the wall. Take your time. You just were up in the air there for a bit. All right, so when you're in this bridge pose, you want to keep your feet hip width distance apart, but have those feet in towards your bottom, as close as you can. We're going to lift those hips up. You can support your low back with your hands. You can clasp those hands underneath and really raise just a little bit higher. You can also, if you have a pillow or a bolster, you can put that underneath. And just breathe. Get that nice blood flow from your feet up the wall, legs up the wall, feet up the wall, legs up the wall. Really a lot of good, fresh, oxygenated blood. So very good for the immune system. So important right now, right? So we want to make sure that we're taking care of our bodies, and healthy immune systems are so important. So this gives such a beautiful boost to that immune system. All your internal organs are now getting fresh, oxygenated blood. Fantastic. Up on our toes. So vertebrae by vertebrae, we're going to lower back down. Take it nice and slow. Nice and slow. Fantastic. We're going to gonna take those legs out, arms up overhead. We're gonna stretch it out. We're gonna stretch, right? So our fingertips and our toes are gonna stretch as far apart from the center of our body as possible. Really, really thinking of stretch, 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 stretch. Let it go. Just let it go. One more time. Stretch, 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 stretch. Let it go. So now is the point of our practice where we get to move on to Savasana. Savasana, when I first started practicing yoga, gosh, forever ago, I had a very, very hard time with Savasana. It is a pose, and it is a very difficult pose because you have to be still and you have to really tune into yourself and go inward. And I'm just a very high intense person, so it's hard for me to slow down, like I know many of you are too, but it's very important. So when you're in the Savasana pose, I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to let you rest, and I'll talk you through a body scan. But so how you set it up, make sure you have whatever it is that you need to make you comfortable. I usually typically like a blanket over me. I just like the feeling of something a little heavy on my body. It helps my body to relax. Some people do not. Other people have eye pillows that they like to use. So whatever you like to use that makes you comfortable. But in this pose, your hands are typically up, palm face up. Your heels are typically touching feet open, and you're on your back here so you can feel your body on the earth. And you just close your eyes and you try to stay still and go inward and relax. And that's really all there is to it. It is a little bit tricky, but I want you guys to get in your positions right now. I'm gonna walk you through a nice body scan. And then I'll be quiet for a little, and then we'll close our practice. Okay, so now that you guys are settled, close your eyes, and I want you to focus on your feet. Just focus on your feet. Imagine that you can feel them getting heavy, your toes, feel a heavy sensation, relaxing. That's going to circulate around your heels. Let that nice heavy sensation work its way up into your ankles, calves. Focus on your calves. They're heavy, relaxed. Circle around your knees with that energy. Keep that nice energy moving along, that nice comfortable heaviness. It's going to flow into your hamstrings and your quads, working its way up your legs. Heavy, relaxed. Focus on your legs. Left leg, right leg. Both legs, heavy, relaxed. Let's work our way up, bring that sensation to our pelvis and our low abdomen, to our low back. Nice and heavy, relax. That energy is going to work its way into our stomach, into our low back, into our upper middle back, circulating through our heart center and our mid back, working its way up to our upper back, our chest, our upper back to our shoulders, our neck. Relax your neck. Feel that sensation. Focus on that area. Let it be heavy. Relax. Shoulders. The sensation is right on your shoulders right now. Focus on those shoulders. Relax them away from those ears. That sensation is just working its way right down your arms, around your elbows to your forearms. Sensation is now circulating into your hands, your fingers, the tips of your fingers. It's working its way back up your arms, shoulders, neck, back of the neck, back of the head. Focus on the back of the head, top of the head. Imagine where your scalp is, that you could just relax, relax, relax. That energy is going to the top of your forehead. Relax your forehead. Eyebrows, between the eyebrows where our mind's eye is, where we think a lot of tension there, a lot of thought. Let it go for right now. Just let it go. Relax. Relax the muscles in your face. That sensation is working its way right down the front of your face. Open your lips. Relax your jaw. Just let your jaw go slack. Nice and heavy and relaxed. So right now, your entire body is relaxed and heavy. And there's this beautiful sensation that's just circulating from your toes to your fingers throughout your entire body. It's just making a circle and circulating. Imagine it just working its way from the bottom to the top and then back again, relaxing you fully, deeply. I'm going to leave you for a few minutes and then I'll come back and close our practice. So I have a quote I wanted to share with you guys today. Each of us carries within us the power to illuminate others. There are two ways of spreading light. Be the candle or the mirror that receives it. Spread a positive light today and receive a positive light. Be positive. Accept positive. When you're ready, roll onto one side. Very gently. Help yourself up. You can keep your eyes closed. We're just going to bring ourselves to a seated position and close out our practice today. Bring our hands to our heart center. Keeping those eyes closed if you like. When you're ready, opening them. I want to thank you all for spending time with me today. Love any feedback you have on the practice. I'm trying to find that happy medium for people that are really just looking for recovery and some that are looking for a little bit of flow. Eventually I may just have to do 2 separate classes, but I think I was trying to blend it a little bit today. And I didn't amp it up too much because I know we have a lot of people that are new to the practice of yoga. So just any feedback you have is wonderful. And we appreciate your time and thank you so much for being here. I wish you guys a wonderful day. Namaste. Thank you. so much.